Who are you saying this out to? What is the pitch process like? How quickly do you get the money? I mean, there are a lot of entrepreneurs that listen in to this podcast. They want to know the details, the dirty details.
We lived in Austin, Texas. I'd had, the consulting business, the RA. I sold my stake in it. My partner at the time, he had sold his stake in a mobile app development agency to big firm as well. So we were known in our town, and there's a big conference there called South by Southwest. They have a component of it for interactive, but there are a lot of investors that come in. So you kind of have to wave your hands in a way, and let's say a digital way, to get people's attention that you have this new business or you have this new concept. So the way we did it was that we looked at the agenda for the conference, and there's a startup pitch competition. We were too late. We didn't enter the startup pitch competition, by the way, but we noticed that one of the celebrity judges, or two of them, one was Elijah Wood, who actually is a DJ. So
Really?
yeah, and then another one of the judges was Sir Mix-a-Lot. So
Two people you wouldn't expect to be in the same panel.
probably not the most qualified people to judge startups, but we decided that we would actually do this dumb idea to throw a party and see if we could hire one of those two to basically just play a couple songs at it. Like maybe we can get them on the cheap. They're already in town.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We basically just threw a quasi launch party for a company that we didn't have, but just to get attention. And so we did that. Sir Mix-a-Lot said he would play. So he played. A lot of people found out that we were starting this company, had a decently cool name, and we owned the domain called On This Dollar. And then that set us up to go get meetings with folks.
So you got Sir Mix-a-Lot to play a private party for a launch for a company that you had not yet started.
It was one of the bars at the bottom of the W Hotel, if you've ever been in Australia.
Yeah, I know.
And the way we got that on the cheap was that we found out that there were big companies that were renting the space before, but at South by, they sell these in 3-hour blocks. And they realized that the two big tech companies are arch rival nemesis, and they didn't want to have adjacent blocks. So they were willing to just walk away from their deposits and go somewhere else. So we were able to pick it up for just the other half.
Crazy.
Okay. And then just convince. I remember, at the time emailing getting a W-2 form or W-9 from Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's not like
Hilarious. They should have that framed.
they're like, yeah, so they literally have a W-9 because you're going to pay them. So it's like this guy has a W-9. Right? Put on him.
So what was the result of the party? So Mix-a-Lot's playing. You got a company that
Yeah, it was late so a little bit. I mean, it was only all of 10 minutes because all you had to do was come downstairs still and then go back out. But got the attention we wanted, set up some meetings, and lo and behold, we got offered like the seed capital to get the business started.
Nice.
And got it up and running. Had the concept, got the money to build the platform and get that launched, but not enough to like really go to market and go get customers. So the IP was valuable, and it made the evaluation that we were a little bit late in getting that up and running, but the IP and the licenses that we had were valuable. So there were potential suitors and acquirers for that versus going and getting another round. So
Yeah.
for those in the audience that are aspiring entrepreneurs, especially on this venture capital side, this is a weird analogy about how this game works, but it works very similar to those car racing video games that we used to play when we were kids, like the ones that actually built a car. So you start the race and you get the allotted time, and you have to get the checkpoints, and that's the only way you get additional time. But when you get to that checkpoint, the more time you have hitting that checkpoint gives you a better chance of going into that next stage. So like it's the same thing with venture funding. So if you get a couple $1 million or $1 million or 500,000 to start or 5 million, depending on the business, the quicker you can get to a milestone or a checkpoint of that business to get to that next level for a C plus round, a Series A or Series B, the more money you have left or the more momentum you have heading into that checkpoint, and you get a new allotment of either capital or resources and so forth, the better your odds are of hitting that third checkpoint. But if you are barely getting across a 1 second, and my favorite game as a kid was Outrun. So if you remember that one,
Sure.
right? The red car, the red convertible Ferrari. If you got to that checkpoint with only 1 second, the odds of you making it to the next checkpoint are very low. But if you hit that checkpoint with 18 seconds, you had a very good chance to get to the next one because you had 18 plus the new time. And for us, there wasn't a lot of resources when we got to that checkpoint. So the business decision was better to start looking at the potential acquisition. So that's what we did. and there were suitors because we had one milestone accomplished that was going to save time.